Hello and welcome to our weekly yoga flow. Today we will certainly do some warm-ups with some sun salutation, and then we're going to make our way into a seated practice with a little bit of flow in between each of the poses for hips and for our spine, and we'll also end up in some back bends for keeping our spine nice and fluid and healthy. So we'll see where it will take us and how we feel about it. And I am super happy that we're here together. Let's take a comfortable seat and close our eyes and hands onto our knees. Center ourselves. Bringing an intention in for our practice, whatever it might be for us. Our body part, our mind, maybe it's going to all kinds of different places, our intention for up level our energy fields and up level our frequencies, and to just really feel nice and clean and clear in the body. We'll take an Om into that, taking the palms together in front of the heart. Take a comfortable inhale. And exhale. Take our hands down and let's come to our backs and start with some hip and some waist and some knee opening by taking upward facing Gomukhasana pose or shoelace pose with our right leg over the left and bringing our knees into the chest and hands around the ankles, relaxing the shoulders down to the mat, and take a nice gentle hold onto our ankle with the hands, and maybe pressing the ankles into the hands as well and getting like a nice feedback loop into IT band, into outer hips, and knees are coming towards the chest. And we'll take some nice deep breaths into that. One more breath here, and then gently release the hands, the legs, and keep your right leg over your left, and then lift your hips and come over into Supine Twist, arms out to the side, and coming into a nice comfortable twist. If we needed to, we'll undo the knees and put one on top of the other instead. Enjoy a nice supine twist, checking in to see what's going on with the sacrum. Maybe the hand comes on top of that right quad and roots it away so that it can find a little bit more space into the lower back. And then gently take our legs back upright, undo the legs, and take the left knee over the right and find Gomukhasana, cow face pose, onto our back with hands around the ankles, and give a little gentle tug with our hands around the ankles, and maybe a little gentle press with our ankles into the hands for this nice feedback loop into the hips, to the big junction that holds upper and lower body connection together. So we'll stay here for another couple of breaths, activating our hips, activating the pathway for the upper and the lower body, and just kind of waking up the body. And then gently taking our legs back down, take our arms out to the side, press our right foot down, come over onto the right hip, supine twist. And maybe take that top hand up onto the left quad. Give yourself a gentle rooting into the left hip, left femur. And gently arms back out. And then we'll take the legs up towards the mat again, feet down, and bring the knees into the chest. Root the femurs, expand expand the back body and make nice gentle circles onto the sacrum. We'll take 3 laps around to make sure that it feels good around the sacral area, the triangle bony part at the base of your spine. And then we'll do 3 laps around the other way. Hands underneath the knees, and we'll come to a seat. Cross the ankles, take our arms up towards the sky, bring the palms together, take your right hand down, leave your left arm up and come into seated crescent pose. Sit bones down, rooting down, extending the side body, and just kind of ripple effect it into the side of the spine, and then gently taking it up and over, taking your right arm up and maybe over to the side. And we'll do 1 more. Side, side. Take your right arm out, left arm up and over. And gently taking it up and over, lifting side body long, holding the front side of the spine, nice and strong. And then gently taking it all the way back up and come up to all 4s. From here, take your hands and spread them nice and wide, fingers wide apart. Wrist creases aligned with the front of the mat. Tuck the toes under. Knees and hips and are squared one on top of the other, and shoulders and wrists. And then we're going to vacuum suck the belly in or expand the back body, big wide cat arch on the spine, and then hollow the upper arm bones in, and exhale, hands and knees and toes down, and exhale, bring it all the way back down, and 1 more. Exhale, hands, knees and toes down, and exhale. Come all the way into neutral spine. Take your right arm out to the side and maybe reach it up for a side body stretch. Take your right arm underneath, coming into shoulders, neck, side body, twisting it up a little bit before we come to our standing flow part. A few more breaths right here. And gently make your way back up. And take your left arm out to the side, or maybe taking it up towards the sky, and then thread your left arm underneath your right, coming into a shoulder stretch, neck stretch. You can push against with your right hand. Give yourself a few breaths right here. And gently bring it all the way back up. Spread your fingers, make your way into downward facing dog. Tuck the toes and pedal your right heel down and your left heel down. Maybe there'll be some spontaneous adjustments in towards the calves, in towards the ankles. Lift the upper arm bones. Anchor into your down dog, whether it is up on your toes with knees bent and focusing on the upper body. Maybe it is sinking the heels towards the floor and getting into calves and Achilles and ankles as well. We'll take 1 breath here. Take the gaze between the hands and come up on your toes. Bend your knees. Take a step over to the hands. Inhale, long spine. And exhale, fold. Bring your hands to your hips, elbows to sky. Root your feet. Come to standing and release the hands. Inhale, take the arms up to the sky. Palms together, Urdhva Dhanrasana. Root your feet. Exhale, hinge and fold. Feet hip width apart. Bend into your knees. Inhale, elongate the spine. Exhale, step to plank pose. Shoulders and wrists are stacked. Bring your knees to the floor and make your way down to the belly. Widen your hands, elbows to sky. Inhale, cobra pose, inner shoulder to outer shoulder. Take your ears back and then stretch your legs back. Exhale, wind back down, hands by shoulders, child's pose. Big toes together, knees apart like a nice big spinal wave. 1 breath here. Inhale, make your way up, tuck the toes and come to downward facing dog. Take your right leg up towards the horizon. Hug your inner edges of the legs together and squeeze the muscles on all sides of the leg. Use your glutes. Press the palms. Bring the ribs together. Step your right foot between the hands. Come up high on your back toes, hands to your quad, find your balance, and release the hands. Inhale, take your arms up to the sky, bicep by ears. Give yourself a couple of nice deep breaths here. Saturate every nook and cranny of the body. Filling it out to the toes, to the fingers. Exhale, release, hands to the floor. Step it back. Downward facing dog, plank pose. Knees to the floor. Come all the way down. Inhale to cobra. Widen your hands. Come up on your fingertips. Stretch your legs back to really make sure that you have a nice openness into the front, back, and side of the spine. Exhale, bring it back down. Push back, child's pose. One big nice spinal wave. And exhale, come up, tabletop, tuck the toes, down dog, please. Exhale and inhale. Give yourself a couple of nice deep breaths, clearing any stagnant energy that's holding us back in our mind, in our body. From here, sweep your left leg up to the sky. Take it to the horizon and hug the inner edges of the feet together and inner edges of the legs together and squeeze everything you have into the center, and from there extend out. Press the palms, hug the intercostal layers. Step your foot between your hands. Take a pause, take your hands to your left quad, find your way into a high crescent lunge, arms up to the sky. Super grounding down as we are hugging and squeezing all parts into the midline, and then from there extending out to our comfort zone where we feel like there is an exchange of energy through the energy fields around us and through the muscles, skin, muscles, and bones, all of it. Exhale, release, hands to the floor, step it back, downward facing dog, make your way to plank pose, and take the knees to the floor. Come all the way down, widen your hands, inhale cobra. I like to widen my hands to get some more space for my chest, for my shoulders, for my neck, and to be able to really lengthen the spine. One more breath, and then exhale, take it back down, push back, child's pose. One breath, one big wave in child's pose, and then gently make it back up. Downward facing dog, please. Give yourself a couple of breaths right here, and then look between the hands, come up on the toes, bend the knees, take a step or a hop over to the hands. Inhale, long spine, exhale, fold. I like to have my feet hip width apart. You can put your feet together or have them wider. Make sure that it feels good for your hips and your lower back. Bend into the knees, hands to hips, elbows to sky, root your feet, come to standing and release the hands. Inhale, take it all the way up. Palms together, Urdhva Dhanrasana, and we'll start to just take it slightly to the back. And then exhale, hinge and fold. Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, long spine. A nice big wave in the spine. Exhale, fold. Place your palms, downward facing dog. Make your way to plank pose. And take your knees down. Take it all the way down. Inhale to cobra. Inner shoulder to outer shoulder. Hands can be flat this time around, unless you need that extra space for the shoulders, for the neck, for the spine. Exhale. Bring it back down. Push back. Child's pose. Big toes together. Knees apart. Make your way up to tabletop, to down dog. Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Fire up the hands, the arms, the belly, and send energy down the back of the legs and fire up in towards the calves, open up into the heels. Sweep your right leg up towards the sky. Pull the belly in, step your right foot between your hands, leave your left hand. I'm coming up on my fingertips onto the floor. Sweep your right hand to your sacrum, big wide crescent twist. Take your right arm up to the sky. Take the gaze up. Twist and turn the belly, the waist, the organs. Wake up into the spine. Clear any old energy out. And then exhale, bring it back down. Step back, down dog, downward facing dog. Come to your plank pose. Knees to the floor. Make it all the way down. Inhale, cobra, inner shoulder to outer shoulder. And exhale, bring it back down. Push back, child's pose. Big toes together, knees apart. One breath. Tabletop, down dog. Secure the belly. Secure and anchor skin to muscle, muscle to bone. And from there, extend out. Left leg up towards the horizon to the sky. One breath. Use all the muscles you have. Step your left foot between the hands. Right hand stays down. Pull your left hip back. Right hand to the sacrum. Twist and turn. Sweep the left arm up to the sky. Big wide crescent twist. Extend out the right leg. Lift your heart, your belly. One breath here, and then exhale. Bring it back down. Step it back. Down dog. Plank pose. Knees down. Come all the way to the belly. And inhale to your cobra. Inner shoulder to outer shoulder. Exhale. Take it back down. Push back. Child's pose. One breath. Tabletop. Down dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Come up onto your toes. Bend your knees. Look between the hands. Take your step or your hop. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, fold. Sweep the arms out to the side. Urdhva Dhanrasana. Palms together. Exhale, hands down to the side for Talasana. Let's do this. Let's take the hands into the pretend back pockets and chug them down right below the sacrum. So the heel of the hand is right below the sacrum, and then we can lean hands into glutes, glutes into hands, bring the shoulders back and lift the heart and the chest. One more breath here. Lifting up and back. And then exhale. Heart first, head last. Release the hands. Inhale. Take it all the way up. Exhale. Hinge and fold. Uttanasana. Bend into your knees. Inhale, long spine. Exhale. Place your palms. Down dog, please. Plank pose. Claw the fingertips as you come forward. Knees to the floor. Bring it down. Inhale to your cobra, or if you would like to take it to upward facing dog, maybe our spine, our arms are warmed up, shoulders, then we lift the legs off of the floor and have hands and top of the feet on the floor. Pull the shoulders back and then exhale, roll over the toes for down dog. Sweep your right leg up to the sky. Bring your foot between your hands, left knee down. Coming into Anjaneyasana, sweep the arms forward and up. Come forward in the hips, in the outer hips. Pull the belly in. We'll keep our right hip plugging back. Lifting the heart, the chest, the shoulders, maybe up to the sky. Have a good time right here. Kind of diving into the unknown. There's a lot of unknowns out there. We'll just kind of yoga practice our way through it. And then exhale, take it back down. Step it back, down dog. Take your left foot up to the sky. Sweep it up. We have second side going before we go anywhere. So we'll take that left leg up. Step the foot between the hands. Take your right knee down. Inhale, arms forward, up to the sky. Come forward in the outer hips. Quad opening, hip opening, heart opening, spine, health. Lift from your hips to your shoulders. Pull the belly in, and then from there lift up and back, and up and back. And exhale. Take it back down. Step it back. Downward facing dog. Make your way to plank pose. From here, either lower down with your knees and come to your cobra, or maybe try your chaturanga and holding your body over, rolling over your toes and lifting up the up dog. Exhale, rolling over your toes and coming to down dog. To our downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Come up on your toes, bend your knees, look between the hands. Take a step or a hop over to the hands. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, fold. Sweep the hands up to the sky. Take your arms up, Urdhva Dhanrasana, and hands all the way down to the sides. From here, we'll come into eagle pose. So we're going to come back a little bit to what we had our legs in the beginning of class. So we can bring the feet together and bend into the knees. Take your right leg over your left, high up onto the thigh, and maybe hook your ankle around your left ankle. We'll see. Or kickstand. You can do any of those. So we'll take the right leg over the left and squeeze the muscles in. Take your right arm under your left and arms in eagle. And we have to really find our steadiness here, finding our intention and staying with it. Intention to clear and clean the body, intention to clear our mind, intention to exhale, each and every exhale out any sort of hold back in the body. Maybe the elbows and the top knee comes together and fold forward. Giving ourselves a few breaths right here. And then coming back up with the arms and undoing the legs, but keeping our hands and sweeping it back to warrior one with our arms in an eagle form, lifting it up, right foot back, flat onto the floor, and then coming to the center, sweeping the arms up to the sky, palms together. Long side body. Letting the shoulders open up. One more breath, building some good determination, and then exhale, hands to the side and hands to the floor. Step it back, downward facing dog. Come to plank pose. Shoulders and wrists are stacked. Either you stay here or come with me for a vinyasa, for our flow, up dog and down dog. We'll take down dog for 3 breaths. Press the palms, lift the upper arm bones, anchor down into your 4 corners of your feet. Whether you have your toes on the mat and the heel lifted, we still are feeling all 4 corners of the feet. Come up onto the toes, bend the knees, look between the hands, take a step or a hop over. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up to the sky, palms together, and exhale, hands all the way down, and bending the knees, and then we'll come into our second side of eagle pose, Virasana. Take the left leg high up onto your right thigh. Maybe the ankle comes under, or maybe we kickstand. We want to squeeze everything we have into the midline. Left arm under, right arm over for eagle arms. It can get a little windy up here sometimes, and then we'll just squeeze the center line more and plug ourselves even more in. Thumb by third eye, elbow to knee. Hug and squeeze the center line, staying with our intentions, staying on our path. And then gently raising the arms and undoing the legs, finding our balance. Step the left foot back into warrior one. Keep our eagle arms. One nice breath up and exhale. Take your arms out to the side. Inhale, palms together for a nice, connected, fully grounded, anchored in Urdhva Dhanrasana 1. One more breath, and then exhale, hands down, hands to the mat, step it back, downward facing dog. Excellent. We should feel nice and warm and kind of squeezed out and a little bit freer in the body. Come up onto the toes, bend the knees, look between the hands, take a step or a hop over to your hands. Inhale, long spine, exhale, fold. Press the feet, inhale, bring it all the way up, and exhale, hands down to the heart. We're going to open one foot to the side for Prasarta, Uttanasana, feet wide apart, hands to the hips. Tuck the toes slightly in, heels slightly out, elbows back, and we'll just lift our heart up to the sky and hips coming slightly forward. And then exhale, hinge and fold. And take the top of the head towards the floor and heel of the hands in line with the heel of the feet. Arch the spine, take the top of the head, maybe to a block, maybe to the floor, maybe to a ponytail, whatever we might have. It does not have to touch anything. We want to pull the inner edges of the feet towards the midline and really like anchor into the inner edges of the legs, to the belly, shoulders away from the ears. There was a lot of squeezing the midline, which we are certainly still doing, but with feet with some more space. We're still holding on to the center, but at the same time we're widening and opening up. One more breath right here, and then exhale, extend the arms and take the hands underneath your shoulders, arch the spine up towards the sky, and upper arm bones hollowing in. And we're going to hang out right here and do a couple of side angles low, Skandasana, elbow to knee onto the right side. So we'll take the right elbow in towards the right knee, and we'll stay right here and enjoy for a moment. And then take yourself maybe with your ankle down and your toes up to the sky. So we can stay up, or we can with a foot, or we can come a little bit lower down. And then we're going to anchor our way all the way down and all the way down and all the way down to a seat with our left leg down and our right foot flat. Take the left hand around your right ankle. The right sit bone is lifted and the right arm is coming up to the sky. Spread the toes. Take your right arm, your whole body over to the side, and take your right hand behind your left little toe side. Side body, side angle, hip opening. Every pose counts from the very beginning of class. And that way, the side body opens up. The front and the back of the body opens up. One more breath right here. And exhale, release. Take your right arm all the way back up, and then we'll come forward onto our right foot and the left heel and make our way over to the second side. And we'll just start right here, nice and gentle with hands on the floor. The right foot is down, and maybe we'll stay right here. Maybe this feels perfect. Next option is heel down and toes up. And then maybe we'll stay right here. Maybe this feels perfect. Or maybe we'll come down and take the seat all the way down onto the right side, and the left sit bone is lifted. Right hand to your left shin ankle and the left arm up to the sky. And then from here, we'll make our journey over towards the extended leg. Maybe the arm is up in the sky. Maybe it's behind the head. Maybe it's supporting you on the floor. Maybe it ends up somewhere towards the right foot. For Parivrtta Janu Shirshasana, head to knee pose in a twisty turny fun way. Different. This is nice to be able to do like some different twists, some different seated poses that might not be super traditional, and that way energies that are holding us down, they're leaving. They're like, what is going on? They're not really following. So these poses are for that, and they're also for the kidneys, and they're also for the digestive system, and they're also for the hips and hamstrings. One more breath, and then gently take it all the way back up, and take our hands to the front and make your way back up onto your foot. And then from here, tuck the toes, hands underneath the shoulders, shoulder flosses. Exhale, inhale, taking your upper arm bones in and bringing it back out. Taking your upper arm bones in and then bringing it back out. And again, upper arm bones in and taking it back out. And then from here, make your way to the front and come to downward facing dog. So I promised some warm-up flow, which we have kind of crossed over. I promised some seated poses that we just kind of started, and then we also have some backbends. So the next pose is also going to be seated in a supine kind of way. We're going to come into a one-legged hero's pose. So come up onto the toes, bend the knees, and take the feet over to the hands. Inhale, long spine, and exhale, fold. From here, take your right foot down, bend your right knee and come down with your bent knee. We're going to take your ankle outside, your whole lower leg outside of your upper bone. So here we are in half hero's pose, half Virasana. And we might sit and stay right here and enjoy this quad stretch, hip opening. Or we can come down onto the forearms. We can lift the seat and take the tailbone more forward. The knee comes down. We're clicking all of the 5 toes down here, and maybe we'll make our way down onto our back. Preparing for some back bends. Taking the arms up and over the head, and maybe we'll take the hands around the elbows. The left foot can be flat. We can be right there in support. Today we'll leave it right there. Give yourself a few breaths right here. Breathing into the right quad, releasing any tension, giving it some love and a nice big stretch. And then gently take the hands to the side and find your ankle, find your forearms onto the mat again, and then from there the hands. And then from there we'll come up and stretch your right leg and your left leg and take a vinyasa, take a flow if you like. Shoulders and wrists are stacked. Take yourself into chaturanga or all the way down. Inhale into up dog. Exhale into downward facing dog. From the core, from the deepest part of yourself, extend into your downward facing dog. From here, come up onto the toes, bend the knees, look between the hands. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees and take your left foot and turn it behind you, outside to the side. Virasana, half Virasana, which is bending the leg, just like we did on the first side, with your left foot outside of your hip area, and your toes are clicking down, and your knee is facing forward, and then hands are coming down. Some of you might have propped yourself up on a pillow, or maybe you're hugging your knees into your chest instead, on your back. Anything will do. This is kind of like child's pose, facing up, but different. So let's take your forearms down. Child's pose kind of leads to any pose eventually, right? So here we are. Click all the left toes down, stretch your quad, press your feet, your hips down, your ankles, and then lift your hips and tailbone forward, and then we'll sink down so that we're onto our sacral region. And maybe we'll come down with our upper body, shoulder blades onto the mat. Right foot can be flat. Supine, Ekapada, Virasana, one-legged hero's pose. And that's what we're going to stick with today for the hero's pose version. Give yourself a few breaths right here. Breathing into any of the tight areas, pressing the toes down, activating the quad to stretch. Or just being, just letting it do its thing. A few more breaths right here. And then exhale and release the hands down towards the feet, towards the ankles. Come up onto the forearms. Give yourself a little pause and then make your way up all the way. And hands to the mat, step back, down dog. Downward facing dog. Press the palms, lift the upper arm bones. Move about, come up onto the toes. Make your way to plank pose, lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, bring it into downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. From here, come up onto your toes, bend your knees, look between the hands, take a step or a hop over to the hands. Inhale, long spine. And exhale, fold. Top of the head towards the floor. Uttanasana. Bend your knees and come to a seat. Heels down, hands by your legs. Roll down, vertebrae by vertebrae. Take it nice and slow into all of the nook and crannies of your back body, of your front body, of the side body. We have bridge pose in different forms left, and then we'll close up with seated forward bend. Bring your feet in so your ankles and your knees are stacked. Take your hands around your yoga mat, press your head down, lift your shoulder blades, and put them underneath you in a nice even way. And then from there, find all four corners of your feet and lift up into Setu Bandha Sarvangasana bridge pose. Clear neck, clear throat. And there might be some more feelings in the quads here. A few breaths. And then we can come up onto the toes. And it's first we can drop the femurs in, and it's like hollow the belly. And then from that place, we can lift the outer hips up. We can gently squeeze into the glutes so that all of our muscles are engaged. Also the quads, also the hamstrings, also the glutes, also the lower abs. From here, take your hands underneath you, interlace, and open up into the shoulders. Few breaths right here. And then we can leave the hips up here and send the heels down and see how the quads are doing with that. Find all four corners of our feet, and then exhale, release the hands, and roll the spine back down. Take the hands on the top of the quads and give them a nice little gentle push away from the center to undo any knots in the back, or just release some pressure. So when we back bend, there can be a lot of bend and compression into the lower back. So we are working with taking it into our upper back always. And of course, lengthen out through the hips, lengthen out through the heart center. You can do exactly what we did, or come along for Urdhva Dhanrasana. From here, take your feet, ankles under your knees, arms over your head. Take your hands by your shoulders, second finger pointing same direction as your second toe, elbows up to the sky. And from here, pull the belly in and secure the front side. Press your hands and your feet down, come up to the top of the head. From here, pull the upper arm bones in and maybe stay here. I'm going to walk my hands in for a little bit more security, and then rooting down and lifting up. And maybe from there, coming up onto the toes and giving ourselves a nice, comfortable wheel pose. A strong wheel pose. Open up into the layers. Using glutes, hamstrings, quads, lower abs. You might even walk your feet in slightly. Lifting a little more in towards the hips, stretching your arms. Taking the bend from the hips up to the upper back. We'll stay one more breath. And then we'll see if we can keep the bend and sink the heels down. And then exhale, walk the feet out, bending the elbows and coming down onto our back. And hands onto the top of the femurs. And just gently rooting them, giving them some space, giving the lower back some space by gently putting pressure on the tops of the femurs. One more breath right here, and then exhale, release. And I have to adjust myself on the mat a little bit, maybe you do too. We're going to take the right knee in towards the chest and extend the left leg out, knee to chest. Rooting the femur down, releasing the hip flexor. And then we'll take the right leg up to the sky and releasing lower back, releasing hamstrings. Sacrum is down, shoulder blades are down. Bending the knee and switching sides. Taking the left knee in and the right leg forward. And extending the left leg up to the sky. Hip flexors, lower backs, untying knots, stretching the whole hamstring area to release our lower backs if there was anything going on there. One more breath, and then exhale, bending your knee back down, taking both knees in, arms inside the legs, hands outside the feet. Happy baby pose. Sacrum down, toning into the whole spine, getting some nice release into hips, opening by externally rotate the femurs, creating space for our rotators, creating space for hips, hamstring layers, lower backs, and just really a super grounding pose. One more breath, and then exhale. Take your knees towards each other, hands under the knees. We'll roll it up, taking our legs forward, take our hands up towards the sky. Bring the ribs in, which will send the seat down and feeling more grounded and rooted. And then exhale, hands towards the feet. Maybe hands are somewhere around the mat. Maybe they're on the legs. Maybe they're on the sides of the feet. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, fold in a comfortable way for you. Maybe this is plenty. We'll come to Uttanasana, our way, whichever that might be, releasing the head, elbows out to the side. Closing our practice. And then gently extending and coming up to a comfortable seat, and we're going to cross our legs and face each other and have a nice time just sitting together into this excellent energy that we just created for ourselves. Maybe somebody deposited some extra for us. I hope that you feel free and clear and open, and if you came to the mat to stir things up and out, then I hope this was the answer. It's always the answer for me. Yoga practice, whether we are moving in it or sitting in it, whatever works for our body and our mind. We'll take a few moments to sit together. Taking all the nice juicy energy and kind of putting it into the body where it needs to go. Into the mind, into the muscles, into the meridians, into our bones, circulatory system. We'll just ask with each and every yoga practice to be updated to a different frequency that serves us in a different and more updated way. And then we'll ask for it to also be sent out to everyone, every being who wants and can use it as well. We'll just send out if we have any extra hanging around us. Take the palms together in front of the heart, and we'll send it out with Lokah, Samastah, Sukhino, Bhavantu, Om, Shanti, 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 peace for all beings everywhere. If you'd like to join me, there should be a text below. You can follow along. So take a comfortable inhale. We'll start with one Om, and then we'll do the chant. Inhale. Lokah, Samastah, Sukhino, Bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining for this session. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. There'll be quite a few of these weekly yoga flow with different focus and today was coming into a nice juicy back bend with some strong warm-ups for the spine and for our quads. I highly suggest to take a Shavasana, lay down for a moment, rest, let everything be absorbed, and let everything needs to be released that needs to be released. I'll see you in the next practice. Thank you so much. Namaste.